One, two. Mic check. One, two, one, two. If you're tuning in, just giving a couple of minutes for folks to get notified. My camera doesn't look right. Let's get this. Quality. Why they got me in this? Hmm. Peace, divine rights. Let's see. Why is don't have whatever. Okay. I, I don't know why when it moves from Zoom over to YouTube, my camera's looking all out of Zoom like this. But either way, so I want to talk about this full moon that, that comes up tomorrow, November 15th at 3:27 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm gonna give it a second, see if we can at least get us 10 people in here before I start. Y'all share the video, share the live to your folk. Let's see, 19 and 19, that's 30, 31, 41, 44. I'm trying to look at the different transits here. Let's get this. We're going to get rolling here. I'm going to pull up the real-time clock and close some stuff first. Let's see if I can find this. New moon chart. It's not the one. Let's go to the clock. And then I'm going to share it. Move it by a day. Then we need to go to $327. 3:27 and 24 minutes, 24 seconds. I'll get right on the dot on this thing. All right. So let me share this. I guess before I share, though, I'll say this. So tomorrow, we got the new moon in Taurus at 24 degrees of Taurus. New moon will be at 3:27 p.m. Central Standard Time. And it's a Taurus full moon. So the promise of the moon in Taurus, peace, black butterfly, the promise of the full moon in Taurus is that spring has arrived, that the earth is still alive. The promise is that we have sustenance, we have all the resources we need. The promise is that beauty does exist, that beauty does come out of what we previously thought was ugly. That's some of the promises of Taurus. Is that promise realized though is the question, because this full moon will conjoin Uranus at 25 degrees of Taurus, which I guess I'll go ahead and pull up the chart. So here's the full moon chart for November 15th, 3:27 Texas time. Wait a minute. Is my thing still not showing? Hold on. Let me uh damn, I forgot to set my trash out. Damn. Oh well. Okay. It should be showing the clock now. So peace, golden timeline. Thank you for coming in. And I'm gonna do something. I need to we need to make some more. Okay, man. Um, okay. So peace, Tiffany. Okay. So yeah, here we go. We got the full moon in Taurus. Again, the promise of Taurus is that beauty does come out of the ugliness. The promise of Taurus is that spring does come back around, that there is sustenance, there are resources, there is stability, there is security. Those are the promises of Taurus. Now, those, peace, Medusa. So the promise, though, is being challenged at this full moon by Uranus, which conjoins the moon. Now, here's where I want to go with this. Something very interesting I stumbled across yesterday. There was a congressional hearing that was held at 11:37. Peace, Terry. That was a peace, Shauna. That was a congressional hearing that was held yesterday at 11:37 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Washington, D.C. And then this hearing, it was about, they called it UAPs. I think that's the new term for UFOs, unidentified aerial something. And it's supposed to be members of Congress who are coming forward as whistleblowers, as like they're coming on the behalf of the American people. They want answers. And the committee, the people kept saying, we know we're probably on some type of list. And we're probably gonna be blackballed for taking this stance, and some of our colleagues have tried to convince us otherwise, and we want to get to the bottom of, are there other life forms or entities that the government is aware exist, and they got this panel of people that they're questioning, and they're basically saying that they have evidence of these things, but some things are still classified. They can't talk about them. And there's one congresswoman named Bolbert, something Bolbert. I think she's from Michigan, maybe. And she says, I'm just going to go out and say this. The earth is flat. We never went to the moon. Um, Joe Biden got 80 million votes. So, in other words, she came on and something we have never seen. Those of us who've been around, who a little longer in the tooth, you would have never seen Congress people openly acknowledge what used to be called conspiracy theory. Okay. So the fact that they would acknowledge some of the things that have been on the internet is showing just the nature and the climate of the world we're in now, where everybody's watching the internet. Like there are more people watching the internet than like CNN or NBC. And the fact that they would use some of the things that was considered to be underground is concerning. And I won't use the word alarming. I'm just going to leave it at it's concerning. You know, some things when they come out to into the status quo onto the general bank of broadcast and communication, then that is an immediate warning that those things are going to be made to manifest and they may not be organic. So Uranus and Neptune are considered to deal with aliens. Uranus would be more of alien technology, as in Uranus is more AI. And one of the panel said something about um that they were asking, what do you think these energies, what do you think this is? And one guy said it could be just AI. You know, this other in this off-planet intelligence. One says I don't know what it is, and one said it could, and they're using the word entities. You would have never, those of you who are my age or older, you know, when we were coming up, that you would never hear the word entity mentioned in any so-called serious, respected format or climate. That the word words like entity were relegated to like carnival act people or underground metaphysical communities. Um, Sylvia Brown, who may come on, what's my man that got MS? Black guy. She might go on his show. Um, uh, Dang, I can't remember his name. He used to be big in the 90s, bald head guy. You know, those types of terms were relegated to the realm where in the status quo they would say that's just oh you into that stuff. You're into UFOs or you're a tinfoil hat. Oh, entities. Oh, okay. Those things just a few years ago you were considered to be a goofy to even use such words by the general populace. So for those words to be introduced into the lexicon of the general populace is a telling sign. Okay? The mere mentioning of entities, Montel Williams. Thank you. Thank you. That's a telling sign. And so with this full moon in Taurus, with Uranus in conjunction, I don't know. Was this preparation? Because at the time of that congressional hearing, I want to say that Pluto was rising. Pluto in Capricorn was rising at the time, and it was in a semi-square to Mercury. And Mercury is broadcasting, is communication. And they're broadcasting a message about we want to get to the bottom of things. Pluto. It's dissecting. It's an urgency to dig. But Pluto also deals with deception. Along with Neptune, it's like Pluto is deception as in hiding things. Neptune is deception as in not having a clear grasp of what the truth is, what's reality and what's not. So that's how they kind of, but Pluto is like intentionally hiding things. Okay. And that is rising at the time of this. And and bless them for posting the time. Like when the video comes up, whenever people give you a time, grab that time and then go and cast you a chart. See, well, what was going on when this thing initiates? So when I heard that woman hit the gavel, wow, it's right there, 11:37. And as a matter of fact, I almost feel like going over and but I don't we gotta I can't I don't have the time to do all that. Let's just stick to the script. So full moon is in Taurus. Will there be some type of announcement? Was that a preparation? Was that a preparation? Um, to possibly ignite some type of hyper fear signal within the people. I don't know. Could there be something that is broadcast that disrupts the promise of security with Taurus? Now, here are things that are also in the mix with this full moon. Mercury and Venus. Mercury is in Mercury is in Sagittarius. Let's deal with that first. And let's just think about the climate that we're in right now. Peace, poetic heart, peace, Lisa. So think about the climate we're in right now, where we're coming out of a situation where there was this great divisiveness that has been, the energy has been building up, and the energy still is permeating our reality, this division. Okay. And a lot of this division is around perspective, it's around opinion. Okay. So understand, also factored into this is that Pluto is at the anaretic degree of Capricorn, and Pluto is what we've been looking at as far as astrologically for the last few years, this whole lead up to the US is having its Pluto return. And so here, while we have Pluto at the anaretic degree, like it's like this is the biggest anaretic position of Pluto and Capricorn, because this one is the last one. It's been here 3 times. This is the third time. It hit 29 before it made its first ingress. Then it moved back into Capricorn. And now with it direct, this is its last time being at this 29th degree. And Capricorn is government. The root CAP means head. And this is what I've been trying to um, gently explain leading up to the thing that happened on November 5th, that whenever you affect the head, you affect the body. And the body, or the populace, look at how the people have engaged with this whole fiasco. people at each other's throats. And even people subconsciously are maybe being subjected to acting out what has gone on with the head on Capitol Hill. So there is a form of potential mental illness that we are not even seeing. And same thing with your dental care. When you have something going on in your mouth, if you got oral bacteria and you don't take care of it, you know, then it trickles down into your bloodstream. It can cause problems throughout the rest of your body. And so we've been challenged throughout this process to think metaphysically and to see, to assess not just each other's position, but to assess the whole system that we're arguing about, the whole entire system, because Pluto comes through and it has the role of tilling the soil, and tilling the soil tears it up. So here, as we are here at this full moon, we have also Pluto at the last point of a sign that it's been tilling for 16 years. And so now the activities are increasing. But here we sit as the general populace, and we got our opinions and we have our perspectives, and we're ready to argue over them. We're ready to fall on our sword because Mercury opposing Jupiter is hyper opinionated debate. My perspective is right, and I'm going to convince you that it's right. But the and this is how it's been exacerbated, because they got a great opportunity to work together because they're in each other's house. Mercury is in Jupiter's house. Jupiter is in Mercury's house. They got a We got a beautiful opportunity to see the other person's perspective, but it ain't happening. My daughter had to do a debate in class, and she ended up having to debate the side counter to what she really believed. And I was explaining to her, and she's a double Gemini. I was explaining to her the beauty of this, because I said, it's great for you. It only bolsters your position when you step outside of it and really consider the other position. You can't really even know your own position till you really look at the other side. So this energy of Mercury and Jupiter in each other's house gives a great opportunity to learn what the other perspective may be. Huh. Let me see. Black Butterfly said, we have to learn to zoom out and judge things objectively from an informed perspective, be in the world. Exactly. So now, here's what is making, I think, causing difficulty. Mercury and Venus are both out of bounds. So let's see how long they're going to be. This is 2024. Let's see how long they're going to be out of bounds. Mercury is um declination. Mercury is out of bounds. Wait a minute. I'm trying to see here. I can't. Mercury. What's today's date? Oh, we're in November. I'm looking at October. I said, damn, I must have been off. No, we're in November. Here it is. So Mercury's been out of bounds since the 9th, it looks like. 23. No, no, since the 7th. And it's out of bounds until all November. Venus is out of bounds. So they are they are taking on somewhat of the element of Uranus. So just think about football. So planets inbound means the sun moves as at an arc, okay, from our equator, okay? That arc is 23 degrees, 27 minutes north of the equator and 23, 27 south, okay? That's considered to be the bounds, all right? When a planet gets outside of that, it's considered to be out of bounds. So it's like in football. You can't, there are rules to the game. You're in the field of play as long as you're within the boundaries. And when you're playing outside of the boundaries, you're against the rules. That's why if you hit someone out of bounds, you get a personal foul, or you may get thrown out the game depending on how vicious it is. So just think about communication right now. Communication is out of bounds. So that means people ain't hearing each other. People are just talking, 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 and it's talking from Mercury in Sagittarius, which is this is my truth. My daughter's a Sagittarius. She got Mercury in Sagittarius. I had to tell her, don't go outside announcing to the whole nation. Why you gotta be so loud? This is my youngest daughter, you know? You know, and you have to tell her she'll say anything. We out in public. No, honey, don't say like anything. Daddy, that stink. You smell that person? Like she'll say, and it's like, honey, come on. I don't want to have to fight anybody up in here because they're just gonna blurt out what they think is the truth. Okay. So, which is beautiful, because sometimes somebody needs to just say what the truth is, okay? At least their truth. But if this is just completely out of bounds, then we might not be hearing each other. We might get so locked into our perspective that that's what it is, and this is my opinion, and this is what's right, and this is what it's gonna be. So just imagine you have the planet that deals with our our conscious thinking, our communication, our commuting, like within our little areas that we live in, our commuting that deals with um commerce out of bounds. Then you have the planet that deals with socialization. See, Mercury and Venus are two planets that deal with socialization because socialization begins with communication. All right. And then Venus comes in and rules the one-on-one aspect of socialization. And it's out of bounds. If you were going to do something to possibly injure humanity, this would be a great time because people are so locked into their viewpoints. Not everyone, but many. And it's it's hard sometimes to not give in to the counter because it's like it's so many things it's it's amazing. The internet's amazing. It's amazing. You know, the people on the side who feel like they won, you know, they're like they're talking trash and yeah, what about this? And now we're gonna get this straight. And then you got the other side who's talking about still arguing their perspective. And I'm gonna tell y'all a little something. I don't think that those results are final. I don't think. I think there's something else cooking. And if I get a chance, um, you know, maybe we can look at the contenders charts, but it's some strange things. And it just seemed too easy. And I don't have a dog in the fight because I don't vote. But from the perspective of being aware of, hmm, how might this impact my immediate reality is what I'm looking at. And but when you have people in such a tizzy, if something does break free or break loose, and these people, their only recourse is for them to have some sense of how to work together, you got them. You got them. You got them. Um, um, so it's a lot going on. What else? We got the Mercury, true out of bounds. Let's see what else we got. What else is going on in the sky? Mm, let's see. We still have oh, we got a T square going on here between Saturn, Mercury, Jupiter. This is ongoing, and Jupiter is applying. Is this retrograde? Um, so in the midst of the conversation between Mercury and Jupiter, we have Father Time, and time will tell. Time will tell. This is also the energy of reality check. You know, this is the energy of worrying too. And I want to make sure I clarify that I'm not attempting to seed fear, not at all. But just think about Saturn and I'm going to be coming back to start my series on the goddess behind the god. I'm going to give you a little preview that Saturn has a companion which is really his handler. See those goddess energies are really the handlers of the god. So like I'm born on the day of Mercurius. I'm born on a Wednesday, okay? Born on Mercury's day. Have a lot of mercurial energy. Um my Mercury's in a trine to Jupiter. I'm naturally gifted in writing. I can communicate fairly well. But Mercury, who is also Thoth, has a companion, and a companion is Seshet. And so I realized about 8 years ago that she's the one for me to tap into. She came to me in a dream. She had a beautiful flowing blouse with the ruffles, kind of like how my third grade teacher, Miss Jackson, used to dress with the ruffles down. She had these big, nice gold bracelets on, big, nice gold bangle earrings. Just very polished woman. And she came to me in the dream and she had a big old book, probably about this thick. And she opens the book and she holds with one hand and she points down in the book. And I looked in it and I don't know what I read, but I knew in my soul, I knew. And she used to sit me in a classroom. And in this classroom, in another dream, they were speaking a language I could not understand, but I understood it. You know what I'm talking about? It wasn't English. It wasn't nothing. I don't know what it was, but at the same time, I knew what it was. Like I couldn't tell you. I couldn't put it in no. But I in my dream, I knew it. She's Seshet. She's the one telling Thoth what to say because she whispers in his ear. So Saturn has a wife who is in his ear and telling him how to move time because she's the one who's stirring the shit. She's one of the fates. Okay. And one of her names is necessity. So the best way to mitigate whatever the hell might be coming about is to serve the goddess of necessity. And I said this and let me stop and thank everyone who supported my webinar. We had a last minute hiccup and the thing wouldn't work. I had to then just go and turn it into a Zoom and just do it through regular Zoom, but we got it done. We made it work, you know? And that lecture is going to be available in the near future for those who want to support and purchase the replay. But I mentioned towards the end that um that in the midst of everything happening, all the fear mongering, everything, I'm good. This dwelling is good. My family is good. You know why? Not out of being arrogant. I said, I have served the goddess necessity. I have fucking served diligently. I have served. And if you serve that energy, who the fuck can scare you? Who can do anything to you? You can play with the gods all you want. See, that's the thing you learn when you start this learning astrology. The planets compel, they don't impel. Okay? So they have the power to come down and set up situations, but they ain't really moving the show. There's something behind them that compels them. Okay? And if you figure out how to serve that, man, can't nobody fuck with you. That's my protection. You have all types of enemies that you don't even know about. Okay? One of the ways to protect yourself is serve her, serve necessity, you know? And the reason I'm bringing all that up is because that is, hold on, that is Saturn is applying the square to Mercury and Jupiter. And it is affecting how we think, how we learn, and how we share what we've learned. Because Gemini is looking. Sagittarius, I have seen. Okay. But in the midst of all that, Saturn is weighing in to say, I hold the final say in all this because I'm testing all of that with time. So, guess what that also means? Time automatically deals with endurance. Time deals with endurance. And the word endurance means truth. Duro means truth. It also means tree. You got to go get this lecture that I just put out because it's showing you how to find yourself in the time we're in. How do I find myself within chaos? And how do I, in order to that, so I don't lose my fucking mind, how do I learn to take chaos and turn it into a source of food? Everybody tired. Everybody I'm talking to is tired. I'm tired, God damn it. I'm tired. Okay? But I'm not weary. I'm not weary. Because and my high school coach, and I know I've said this a million times, but it's worth saying again. He was an asshole, but you can learn something from everybody. He said, I'm not concerned with y'all getting tired. I'm concerned with how long it takes you to recover. Every day I get up, I have to recover. You know, that's the purpose of sleep. That's the purpose of the amygdala, which is another word for almond. Mary Amygdala. And Mary comes and gives Jesus something to help him sleep because she anoints his feet with spikenard, which is in the family of valerian root, to help remove the previous cycle for healing, to send you on a journey. Because when you sleep, you are erasing, it's tabula rasa. You're supposed to be erasing all the bullshit from the previous day. And then you get up and you do rituals like making your bed. And for me, I'm gonna wash the dishes. And some mornings I get up, I don't feel like doing none of this shit. But I have to remember that this is the magic. The magic is in your endurance. Everybody tired right now. Everybody got shit going on. Everybody stressed out. Welcome to the motherfucking club. But what's your intestinal fortitude? That's the question. Saturn's challenging all these perspectives you got. Saturn challenging all this shit you say. I'm this, I'm that. I'm going to do all these fucking declarations we make. Well, Saturn challenging all that shit because we want to see how it's going to come out in time. Because the promise, the promise is security. The moon is in Taurus where it's exalted. But is the promise realized? I um 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 so what else is going on this full moon? I know Jupiter is in a semi square to Mars and this can be inflammatory. So this can be also, this is another one that contributes to debate. This is a lot of ego energy here too. It can be that way. An inflamed ego. Let's see. Yeah. And Mars is in a square and a half to Mercury. So, you know what I find myself? I'm gonna be honest. If I could just really get away from people, if I really, I really just I feel it so strongly. Like if I could go and be up in the mountains somewhere or just not living not living, like complete third world, but just people. The virus is people. That's all I can. The virus is people. And we're it's so much building because we're approaching the Neptune and Aries transit, and we're already feeling it. Like if you're not working on yourself, you run the risk of being a pollutant to the atmosphere. Far worse than any chemtrail could ever be. I just don't want to be a pollutant. There ain't nothing special people got to do. Everybody out, we're going to go and fight and we're fuck all that shit. Work on yourself. Work on yourself. That's the shit. That's the most radical shit. Because the pollutants of humanity is so high. Just simple shit. I had to check an old man yesterday in Sam's. You can tell he a old miserable motherfucker. You pushing a pallet jack. You come around the corner. You see little children. It's natural to be like, oh, excuse me, and already showing you I'm trying to accommodate you and move out your way. And you got this attitude of I don't see nobody, so I'm already ready to slap him through one of these freezers. So here he comes again, and I'm getting water, putting it on the pallet, on the whatever you call the thing, the big cart, the flatbed. He come and wheels the next pallet of water right by my daughter. And I'm thinking, motherfucker, you can drop this, it can land on her foot. So I said, come here, honey. I said, because this man acts like he doesn't see you and like he gonna run into you. Oh, I would never do that. So now you hear me, motherfucker. Now you hear me and see me all of a sudden. And I said, brother, all you gotta do is say, excuse me, or give me a chance. I'm gonna move him out the way. People are fucked up. People think they can communicate with you any type of way, and you're not supposed to say nothing. Like we're being terraformed into the aliens. And so they're showing us everything we want to see now because we have been focused so much on what they're going to do, what they're going to do. But what have they been doing to terraform the way we even relate to each other? That's the real hidden shit. How are they really have been forming us into something we didn't even know? Maybe through the means that we thought were so revolutionary. We got all this information now, but we're choking on it. We're choking on it. Everybody's so woke. And as my grandmama would say, don't know beans. And I know I'm getting on my soapbox right here, but it stands to be said. Don't allow a premature severance of your humanity. Because another thing and I'm gonna go back to this too. Another thing with this Venus position of Venus on the time of this full moon, and right now is that it's in a quincunx to Mars, which ties back into what I'm saying. Be aware of the energy we putting out. Mars is ego, right? Venus is what I attract. So we might not be aware of how what we are feeling coming to us is the result of what we are putting out. We might not be aware of just how we are expressing ourselves. Let's do this. Let's put myself on the chopping block. I probably have become so irritated with humans that I may attract some of what I am irritated by. Because I used to be a happy, smiling child when I was a little child. I don't smile like I used to. I'm more defensive. I'm ready, you know? And I've had to force myself, like, man, you got to be more human, Jamar. Go up to him. Don't wait on the person at the counter, see if she's gonna be friendly. Just walk up to her and say, how you doing? Swallow your ego some. Hey, how you doing today? And if the motherfucker don't, so what? They there making $9 an hour, whatever, you know. And so I've been forced to have more compassion. Sometimes I'm angry because I'm the friend who's always giving advice, but rarely do motherfuckers just call and ask, man, how you doing? It's always tell me your problems, but damn, does a motherfucker ever think that I got some shit? And part of that's my fault because I'm always the philosopher in it. But like you be wondering, like, God damn, and I ain't getting paid, which I ain't looking for nothing. But sometimes, like, damn, do anybody ever wonder about us? Sometimes we might need a babysitter you know? So I'm shifting, I'm sending this message to the teachers out here. Those of you, even if you're not teaching on the internet, some of you are teachers in your family, not even indirect, because you're teaching about how you've chosen to live your life. Make sure you protect yourself. Make sure you display self-care. If you're the Christ figure in your family, make sure you're taking care of yourself. Because the people who are the sentinels and the lights are getting burdened down with all the motherfuckers who never listen to you and then who come back like asking because now the pressure is being applied. And you like, but I got my own shit. And you're like, does anybody worried about my shit? So make sure you take care of yourself. And that's why I think networking with like-minded people is so important so that you can have a healthy outlet for the appreciation of who you are. And even if this disagreements, the mere fact that it can be done at a level that you function on and it's respectful. Lean into those. Everybody's tired. Everybody's tired and everybody's having to dig deep. And we're playing sports, it's like, you got to dig deep. You got to hit your fifth gear. You got to pull something out of you. Everybody's becoming a spiritual athlete right now. Let's see who's gonna steal that, put it on the shirt. Spiritual athlete. You having to dig, we're having to dig deep. We're having to live all the stuff we've been pontificating about. And so the full moon brings it to a resonant pitch, you know? It's a crescendo. It is, aha, what have you been building over the last 6 months since the new moon in Taurus? What seeds did you plant back in Taurus season? Are you ready for the final harvest, or were you bullshitting with your time? All these things are at play right now. And I know this is just not traditional astrology, you know. And I thought about this early and I gotta go. It's 2:14. I gotta go. But I was like, man, if I could just stick to a certain formula with the way I deliver information, I could just really expand. And if I could stay safe and just keep the algorithm liking me and this and that. And it's just, my favorite comedian is Patrice O'Neal, and I listen to him. And he had all his, all humans got their flaws, but he just talked about how he just can't be phony. It just kills you. And something in me, I wish I could play the game the right way and it could make my life so much easier, but I just can't do it. And so if you come over here to this channel, you just gonna have to get what I give. I'm not gonna do a horoscope every week or every month. And if you're Sag rising, if you're a Scorpio for my Scorpio, I can't do it. I can't force it. It's just like, and I do these things when I get a chance. You know what I'm saying? And when I feel like I'm led to deliver it the way I deliver it, you know? And that's just what it is. So I hope it's well received. Um, and I'll be coming back with um info about the webinar, how you can get access. And I'm gonna come back and talk about um I'm not good at marketing myself, but I want to talk about the benefits of it, you know? Uh, and that's gonna be it. I think I've said all I need to say. I get to these end of these things and it'd be like I'm coming down off some dope or something. It'd be like, oh, you know, the adrenaline. So, I get passionate and I never mean to be hurtful in the way I deliver, but I have to tell the truth as I see it, which it could be wrong, but it's as I see it. So I'm just going through real quick. Current events are right for something goofy happening. Yep, 72 algorithm. Um, uh, Terry said she's just telling her mom the powers that be want us been out of shape. Exactly. Black Butterfly said we have to learn how to. Oh yeah, I read that one. Um, let's see. Algorithms. Instead of that, people are falling subject to tribalism, divide and conquer. Very, very true. Uh, Shauna said it's amazing how opinionated people are behind the keyboard. That's a big fact. Um, But like I said, I don't I think there's a plot twist, and I alluded to it, uh yeah, I'll come back to that. I ain't gonna start up another, because then I'll be here 30 more minutes for them to switch out. Oh, Nandi Johnson, yeah. He mentioned, yeah, inside. Yeah, 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 very possible. Uh Muted Earth said, I don't, based on what though, essential dignities, retrograde. I don't know, she might be replying to somebody else in the that crazy said Saturn is calling. Yes, indeed. Yeah, okay. That crazy. I ain't calling you old. I'm calling myself old, you know? But that better word is seasoned. Uh, yeah. Well, okay. I just want to read through some of y'all's comments. But once again, I thank you all. Uh, uh, please hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing. Subscribe to the channel. Help us with this organic, what we try to maintain as an organic flow by at least giving the matrix at least this little bit of what it says it requires. It requires engagement. So hit that like button, hit the subscribe, and leave a comment. All that good stuff. And until the next time we meet, stay magical, stay powerful, know the stars to know yourself. 720astrology.com